people think I own the company. I'm what you call an intrapreneur. Okay. Intrapreneur is that I'm basically, for all intents and purposes, an entrepreneur, but within a larger company. And I have the freedom to do what I want, and to do basically anything.
As an operator, I know other investors are romanticizing multifamily investing, and I'm looking to learn from other investors' mistakes. I know you are too, and you found the right place. Welcome to Myers Methods Presents Multifamily Missteps. Hey everybody, and welcome to Multifamily Missteps. I'm your host, Jerome, and I got a repeat guest. This doesn't happen very often, but I got my man Yonah Weiss in today. Yonah, how are things? I'm not even going to say where you are. How are things where you are?
Wherever you go, there you are. But it's a state, it's a state of mind, really. I'm doing amazing, Jerome, and even better that we're sharing some screen time today and hanging out virtually. So I'm very grateful to you for bringing me back for a second time on the Multifamily Missteps, one of my favorite podcasts. So thank you.
It's been far too long, and Yonah was sharing with me that he's got something sitting on his desk, which just made me smile from ear to ear because, it's pretty hard to get that guy in something other than the traditional garb. So for the people who have been living under a rock and have no idea who Yonah Weiss is, or what Weiss Advice is, or what the Wednesday night meetup is, tell the listeners about this wonderful human being who's come into my world and taught me how to use LinkedIn.
Listen, whatever, karma or whatever you want to call it that brought us together has been just blessing my presence with you for the past few years. So I'm very grateful to you for that. Who am I? I don't know. I'm some guy who I do cost segregation. That's my main business, which means my focus and my main occupation is helping people save money on their income tax through real estate. And through that, it kind of opened up a big platform, not a platform, but opened up multiple platforms, really a method for me to share that wisdom and share that methodology, how to do that. And I kind of use social media to do that. But, maybe back up a little bit. What am I? Who am I? I'm a family man, 6 kids. I love to just help people. I started a nonprofit many, many years ago. Was doing that, was a teacher, was just living the life, and got into real estate a few years back, maybe 5-6 years ago, and loving the networking. It's brought me to meet tremendously, incredible people all throughout the country, and has brought me to do more investing as well. So it's been growing, it taught me, real estate has taught me to kind of reach out to people that I would have never reached out to before and connected with, and brought my value that I can offer to a vast number of people. So that's kind of what brought me here today.
Wow. Okay, family man, 6 kids. Let's sit at that, 6 kids. All right, so I don't want to make people wait all the way till the end of the episode to find this out. How can people get in contact with you once they hear this amazing information you're about to share with us?
The best way to find me is on LinkedIn. Obviously, that's you can send me a connection request and make sure you tell me that Jerome's episode of Multifamily Missteps was the impetus for that connection. You can also go to yonahweiss.com and find out all about cost segregation, about me, about real estate investing that I'm working on, as well as the Weiss Advice podcast. It's all up there.
Whoa. YonahWeiss.com? I didn't even know that was a thing. Where did that happen? Oh, man, that's beautiful. Okay, so I'm at YonahWeiss.com. You can't miss the guy. He's everywhere. You literally, he's hanging out in the hallways on LinkedIn every day. And so I wanted to have a conversation about this because I feel like a lot of people in the space are getting LinkedIn completely wrong. Completely wrong. And, LinkedIn, depending on where you are in the world, when they type in your name, it's probably going to come up. And Yonah has done a few challenges. I've watched hours and hours of his content, and he, right or wrong, is an expert on the topic, even though he doesn't have a course. And so, Yonah, let's talk about LinkedIn and how it can actually work for you, because I struggle with the people who I come in contact with who are trying to grow their business, trying to find investors, trying to find deals, and trying to have be credible with brokers. And then when you go look at their LinkedIn pages, a bunch of black squares and or gray squares and
Or some
logos and
some
what's
logo of
happening.
some reptile or something, you know.
That was me, ladies and gentlemen. That was me. You know, it's like, try this.
Uh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now more than ever, people need to be cognizant of the fact that the internet is a real thing and your online presence is a very real thing. And if you're going to do business with anyone, even not business, but for certainly business, people are going to look you up. And one of the first things, they may not go directly to LinkedIn necessarily to find you, but when you type in your name or you type in someone's name in Google, guess what shows up? Your LinkedIn profile. If you have a LinkedIn profile, it is for certainly going to be at the top of the Google search, if not the top, excuse me, if not the top result, definitely in the top in the first page. What that means is that people will use your LinkedIn profile to find out more about you. Are you a real person? Literally, someone just asked me today, a few minutes before I got on this call, like one of my good friends, do you know so and so? And just gave me like some profile of someone that I've seen this person on LinkedIn, and I've seen their name, and I've seen them kind of engage on some of my posts. They don't have a profile picture; it's a logo. And I don't know who they are. And he asked me, do you know who they are? I've never spoken with the person, but I've seen the name. So to me, that's someone that I cannot verify that they are a real person. Number one. Number two, you know, I don't necessarily, I cannot vouch for them for anything. And so therefore, when you are building your network, which is what social media is really all about, I look at it as like an online networking event, right? And we love networking, right? You love getting together. You love going to parties. You love going out for coffee, meeting people. If you're doing that one-on-one, you're doing it in person, doing it online is really nowadays very much the same thing. And I look at LinkedIn as like a 24-hour networking event, and you can meet so many people across the globe. But if you're not coming out, number one, as a sincere, real person, then what are you showing? What are you giving out? And secondly, when someone's searching your name and they're going to come across you, you want them to find something that is going to be reputable. And so when what Jerome's talking about, having a LinkedIn profile picture, number one, that represents who you are, but more importantly, that your profile looks professional. Listen, it's a free website. That's really what it is. It is a landing page for you, for your brand, for your business. And it's, like I said, it's free. It definitely pays if it's free to take the time and spend a few minutes just updating it, making it look professional.
So, like for the people who haven't done a CRE real estate 10-day challenge, right? They may be like, what is the guy talking about, right? And so, can we talk about some of the real estate that's on your LinkedIn profile, and then maybe the things that some people are just kind of wasting?
So yeah, absolutely. We can definitely talk about that. When it comes to LinkedIn, there's really a couple of things. There's a couple of factors. Number one, there's the profile itself. And that's really important to set up. In fact, I have a free resource on yonahweiss.com. So I just put together that if you want to just optimize your profile to make it look professional, I just show you how to do it, like 10 simple steps. And it'll make your profile look literally professional. Doesn't take a long time to do. But the second and probably more important thing about social media in general and LinkedIn specifically, there's a reason why it's called social, right, Jerome? You don't want to be the socially awkward media type person, right? The social media awkward, socially awkward, right? The play on words there. You don't want to be that guy or girl. Why? You want to make sure that you're coming across as a real, authentic person, because building your online presence is building your personal brand. And your personal brand is your online version of yourself. And you want people to relate to you how you would like to be portrayed, right? If you come across as someone who looks unprofessional, looks unkept, looks someone, if you're saying things on other people's posts that are mean or angry or unprofessional, things like that, people are going to look at you and turn the other way. And so there's the second part of social media, and LinkedIn specifically, is using the platform as a way not just to share content, which is huge, but and that's what you're talking about, the 10-day challenge, where I challenge people to share original content for 10 days in a row, because that will help you be more consistent about it, but to engage with other people's content and be a person that is adding value, someone that is constantly trying to help other people, constantly trying to share your knowledge and wisdom in a way that is helpful, not spammy, not sleazy, salesy, anything like that. Just whatever you have to offer that you can bring to the table, you can share that in a way that can come across in a professional way.
Okay, so don't be socially awkward on social media.
Exactly.
It's interesting that people will do things on the internet that they wouldn't do in real life, right? And so, can we talk about that a little bit? Because I think that's where you were going.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like LinkedIn more than most other social platforms. Like I stay off of Twitter, for example, because anytime I go on there, I just see negativity. I see just people spewing things and politics and all kinds of stuff where I'm not into. So it rubs me the wrong way. But LinkedIn is it more a professional, like in professional networking went. Think about it like if you would go to a professional networking event, how would you act in the hallways? How would you put on your best self, right? It's different than if you just go to a bar and hang out with your friends, and that, or whatever you want to, analogy you want to use. And so being, like I mentioned before, adding value, going and trying to be that person that's going to come across as helpful, someone that can be likable, someone that you can trust, someone that is going to come across that someone's going to want to do business with you. And it comes back to that personal brand, because when people see you and see you actively engaged, they will recognize you and they will know what you do, and they will know who you are, what you do. That's what branding is all about. And so whenever, I just had someone this week tell me, I got on a Zoom call with him. He's like, listen, I love what you do. It was nothing about it. We were just talking about whatever. It was just a guy, I have a Calendly that's open there. If anyone wants to jump on a call with me, you can go and schedule 15 minutes. And I get random people sometimes just checking that out. And I had some guy, he's a real estate broker, and he was trying to refer me some business. He's like, listen, I have no idea what cost segregation is, but I know that's what you do. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's all you need to know. Okay. It doesn't need to necessarily apply to you. But when you want to go and get pizza, right? If you're in a foreign city, right, and you're like, okay, is there a Pizza Hut here? Is there a Domino's here? Right? You don't, because that's what it is. That's what pizza is. So you don't necessarily need to know, all the things. You just need to know where to go.
A lot of people want to be profitable multifamily operators but lack the knowledge, deal flow experience, and capital to be successful. They often try to overcome these challenges out of order, slowing or eliminating their ability to get their next deal done. We've developed a framework that allows them to gain the knowledge they need to find profitable deals. When they do, they create the time and location freedom, as well as the generational wealth they desire for their family. The Myers methods of multifamily investing have proved to be the fastest way to establish credibility and profitably grow an apartment portfolio. If you want to know more about our 4-step process, jump over to myersmethods.com to get our free 4-step guide to getting into multifamily investing. Let's get back to the episode.
So let me get this right, because the light bulb just went off. So you're literally saying, like, they just need to know that you do the thing so that they can come find you when they think about doing the thing, right?
That's what branding's all about, right? You don't need sneakers all the time, right? So why is Nike putting out ads all the time everywhere? Because so it's top of mind that when you do need sneakers, that's what you're going to automatically think of.
Okay. All right. So now I got to brand me personally. So I will tell you, and most people I think that I've met feel the same way. I thought you owned the company that you work for, and you don't. But when everybody that I know thinks about cost seg, they think Yonah Weiss.
Yeah.
And you don't even post about cost seg all the time. That's the funny.
That's right. Yeah, that's really important also. And I agree with what you're saying there. I've gotten that people come up to me and people ask me the question all the time. They think I own the company. And you don't have to post about what you do. I think adding value should be the main component, the main ingredient to everything you're doing online. And so as long as your tagline, as long as people click on your profile or whatever it is, and they come back and they see that's what you are, and they see your tagline under your name every time, you don't need to. And even when you're post, your tagline states who you are and what you do. You don't need to, if that is right, people will just see you and automatically think you're always talking about the thing you do, even though you're not. Now, a great little story. I had the CEO of our company who founded the company 17 years ago, has been doing conservation for 25 years. He was at ICSC, which is one of the biggest real estate conferences for shopping center, retail, right? Commercial real estate conference in the world, 20,000, 25,000 people, whatever there. And Madison, we always have a huge booth over there, Madison Title, Madison Commercial Real Estate. And someone comes up to the booth and asks him, says, what do you do? Cost segregation. He's like, I already use some other guy. His name's Yonah Weiss. And he got such a kick out of it because it's the branding. Like, yeah, I talk about Madison occasionally, but again, I'm just out there adding value. And if people think I own the company, I'm what you call an intrapreneur. Okay. Intrapreneur is that I'm basically, for all intents and purposes, an entrepreneur, but within a larger company. And I have the freedom to do what I want, and to do basically anything. And there's a huge support staff to do that. So I don't have to build my own company from scratch. Would I, if I did start my own company, would I maybe be compensated a lot more? Yeah, maybe potentially, but I'm really not in it for the money anyways. So like, what's the point? Like, why do all this extra work for no reason?
It's a lot of headache for the income. So, where can I go? There's like 5 places I want to go. You know how my mind works, John. So, all right, you were like a teacher at a synagogue before you started doing this, right? Like, I mean, that was part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who knows what a yeshiva or anything like that is, it's essentially like higher education for the Jewish community. It's like college essentially, but like postgraduate type. So I was like a professor of sorts without the real professor type look, but yeah, teaching. That's really my passion is teaching. So if I've just found this way to do it and to add value and to help people and teach people in a different way, and people get value out of it. So why not?
It's just unbelievable the way that you pivot and the ability to deliver that, and I'll call it rebranding, right? And it's really just repurposing the talent that you've always had, which is the ability to connect with people and then guide them on the journey that they're going on.
It is in a lot of ways rebranding, and it's about just finding out what you're good at and finding a way to hone that energy. And if you find a space that like LinkedIn, for example, it was experimental, right? When I came across LinkedIn for the first time, I wasn't like, oh, now I'm going to be an expert at LinkedIn and I'm just going to do everything on this and that. No, it was like to post anything, right, was very, very hard at first. Like, what does that mean? Even post something? What does it mean to write something? And to get on video, I didn't do like LinkedIn a video for like, a year or two into it. It's like, get on video? Why would I get on a video? And then, doing a podcast. And so it all is just, you try different things, you see what works, right? I tried out the TikTok thing. Right? No, it doesn't work for me. I'm not, I was like dancing? Twitter. No, it doesn't work. Instagram, a little bit, I'll basically just repurpose the same stuff that I'm doing, on LinkedIn or whatever, just to put it out there. But again, it's all for the same purpose. And I think, there are multiple purposes, but it comes back all to the same purpose, which is how can I help? How can I add value? And the more you put yourself out there, the more people you can help, the more value you can add.
Love it. So now people are saying, all right, so I fixed my profile. what do I actually post? Like, what's a valuable post?
There are so many different things. And I always like to talk about just sharing your journey. Okay. And it sounds maybe a little bland, like, what are you talking about? Share your journey. But literally in your day to day, just think about just sharing something that happened to you that day. So, for example, I'll take a screenshot of me and Jerome right here, and I'll go and post that on LinkedIn and say, I was just on the podcast with Jerome and I have a talking point. And what does that do? And I'll add some things in there, maybe a question. Question is always a really good thing to put in a post because it invokes engagement. You want to start to build an audience and build a community. And the way you do that is by having dialogue and putting thoughtful questions out there, right? I see Jerome does that all the time, putting out very thoughtful questions or thought-provoking questions. And you build dialogue and you build community, you build people that have similar mindsets as you, have similar outlooks as you. It's a great way to do that. So what do you post? First of all, do not overthink it. Just post something. Think about how can I add value? And if you think, well, why does anyone care if me and Jerome were on a podcast together? Well, first of all, there are probably a lot of our mutual followers that will find that enjoyable to see, two people getting together and enjoying a conversation. Number two, they'll look at, oh, this is a great podcast that I like to listen to. Now I have something to look out for. I'll put it on my calendar. What did we talk about? Oh, we talked about how to build your LinkedIn profile, how to engage on LinkedIn. That's something people actually want to learn about. So they're going to tune in. But even if it's you had a sales call, you had a meeting, you had a webinar you attended, you had a customer service experience, good or bad, whatever it is, that is something posting. You can share a story. Storytelling is the best thing to do when sharing posts on LinkedIn. It gets a lot of engagement, especially if it's anyway a tearjerker type story, but any story whatsoever, because people relate to that. And so if you can share your journey, as I like to call it, but literally it's just your day to day. Okay, so you can post if you're looking at a real estate deal, or like I'm looking for the first time, I had a meeting with a broker, and et cetera, whatever it is, it's all. And asking questions, another awesome way. If you want to be connected with someone, like, hey, listen, I'm looking to invest in Greensboro, North Carolina. Does anyone know anybody who invests in real estate? And then like 35 people are going to tag Jerome Myers, right? Because everyone knows that he invests in Greensboro. So but again, asking a question, I need help with something. It is a community that is out there to help. And that's what I love about LinkedIn.
Outstanding. Yonah, I mean, every time I talk to you, I walk away with something. And so my takeaway today is going to be ask questions, because my posts have not been doing well here lately. The algorithm is boxing me out, and I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to keep posting, man. I'm going to keep putting the work in daily.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. And that's part of the reason we do the 10-day challenge. We do it a few times a year, probably going to do another one before the end of the year. Just to encourage people with a group of peers that are holding each other accountable and encouraging one another and giving each other tips to just post consistently for 10 days straight, 2 weeks straight, essentially. Because once if you have a challenge, like, I don't know what to post. And even for me, right, I get really busy. I have a lot, full schedule of meetings and Zoom calls and podcasts and whatever, and an inbox of emails to answer every day. And it's like, what am I going to post about today, right? But when you have things, you have regular content that you can, or you have like a checklist, or you have a kind of storage place where you keep different topics that you can talk about. It doesn't necessarily have to be, again, going back to sharing your journey, can be your day to day, but you can also have like a database of things you can go back to, you can fall back on, things to post about. So don't be overwhelmed by it. Just do it.
And I think the last question people are going to ask is, Yonah, do I have to pay for LinkedIn Premium?
I have no idea. I pay for LinkedIn Premium. Actually, to be honest, my company pays for it for me. So I get that benefit. But I use the main reason I enjoy that was just to be able to, connect with as many people as possible, right? You can view, or you can see, one of the features I love about it is you can see who viewed your profile, which is like, if you don't have premium, it's like blocked, like someone from Colorado viewed your profile. It's like, what? I don't care about that. But when you see it's like actually this person at this company, and their profile, and you click on it and you're like, hey, thanks for checking out my profile, and send a little cute message. I've gotten a tremendous amount of amazing connections in business that way. Some people, they'll click on it. They may not, may not send a connection request for whatever reason, but if you initiate, it's a great tool for networking.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Yonah, one more time, how can the listeners get in contact with you?
I would say go to TikTok. That's the best way to find me. No, LinkedIn, obviously the best way, and YonahWeiss.com. You can always find all my contact information in either of those places.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for jumping on with me today. It's got to have you back on Dreamcatchers. I didn't get the full episode there, so we got to come back to that at some point.
Sounds good, Jerome. It's been a pleasure. Love to have you back on the Wednesday night meetup also.
To the listeners, the pack's with you. We'll talk soon.
You made it to this juncture, so you really love what we shared on this episode of Myers Methods Presents Multifamily Missteps. Do us a favor. Give us a 5-star rating. Give us a review. And share this with somebody who's interested in multifamily investing. Until the next time, the pack is with you.